We're not live.
We're
No.
going. I don't know. Did you get the little fucking thing? Did it give you a
Now,
little?
now we're live. Fingers crossed. Um, uh, but not that I want the first thing to say for me to say on YouTube, and not that I want the first thing that I say to be genocide. Hi, everyone.
Well, it is.
But it's gonna be that kind of show, friends. At least Tony and I have proved this week that we can yell at each other and not descend into personal animus.
I just need everyone to know that I love a good fight. So I just need and honestly, it's very easy for me to come right on and just do the show because I always credit my old high school theater director because she taught us you leave your garbage at the door when you come to work. So
that is true.
And I think that's a really good way to live. I think America would be a lot more productive if they would just shut up and quit whining at work. This whole fucking cooler talk, office cooler talk, that's not necessary. Just shut up.
Are those kettlebells by your door? What do you have over there?
Kettlebell?
Are you leaving your weights out by the door? What's in the background there? I'm just wondering. You have something on your floor by your door. You said leave your garbage by the door, so I looked by your door to see what garbage is over there.
Crocs.
Oh, those are Crocs. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah,
so your garbage is by the door.
Do you need glasses? Like, are you wearing? Like, what's wrong with you? Kettle? What's?
Well, I don't know.
I'm not trying to bulk up. I'm trying to become like heroin chic.
Sleek.
I want people to be like, is she sick? I want that. I want to.
Oh, we think that. Don't worry. People are thinking it.
Yeah, but you're saying my brain. Hi, YouTube. Oh my God, YouTube. We're just acting like we haven't been talking for a fucking good 45 minutes before we even started here.
Seriously, I have things to do.
Hello, I know. We're all very busy. I want to go get my eyebrows done and buy some things. So,
gotcha.
We're gonna do this show for you, right? Don't you think we should?
Yeah. Although you're gonna go buy some things, and you just told me you're not buying me a present, but that's okay. I will allow that too.
When I say buy things, I mean like I'm gonna go get my eyebrows done. I'm gonna go buy things for me.
I figured.
I'm not a good gift giver.
You are.
That requires active listening. But I always bestow fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed. You'll be grateful. And if you're not, then that makes you rude.
Oh, you know what I was watching the other day? The Tony and Casey show. The Casey and Tony show, I'm sorry, is what it was.
Yeah,
called.
that was wrong billing. I know, R.I.P.
Be grateful, bitch. Remember our Be Grateful, bitch segments?
Yeah. When did I say, what were we grateful for? Starting the show?
Yeah, let's just start the show.
Are you ready?
Wait.
She's not ready. She hasn't thought of a single thing.
This
is where we are, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Got it.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gay Power Half Hour, the only gay podcast on the internet that's just like a pro-abortion constitutional amendment on the ballot, because we give Republicans the shivers with your fetuses, Casey Lai and...
Hi, I'm so young, and I'm Tony Soto. I'm one of those afterbirth abortions. Came out and cut my own throat. Who could take it? Hi, Casey.
Hi, Tony Soto. It's really nice to see you. Per usual.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Wait. Let's see. Did we do a show? We did not do a show last week because I had an audition.
Oh, yeah, for a major pharmaceutical company? Insurance company.
Insurance. Yeah, so
I have a question. Would you take an audition? I know you're on a Disney boycott. Would you take a Disney audition? Well, which isn't a lull in the podcast. He's thinking.
Yeah, no, that's interesting because, you have to think about it this way because you can't really deny auditions because then your representation can drop you. And like, I'm grateful that I have an agent. So like, I'm not trying to fuck that up. Now, whether or not I give it my all at the audition is a completely different matter.
Can your agency drop you? And I imagine the answer is
like
yes.
If I went in with a Palestinian shirt,
I just said free Palestine
with my fists up, yelling free Palestine.
Yeah, and calling for the destruction
what
of
Israel.
What
if I got it because they wanted me to do Palestine face in like some little comedy series for Disney Plus?
And all of a sudden you get promoted as the Palestinian hire that they have. Yeah, I think it would be problematic on a variety of levels. But although, but
I'd be working.
Solidarity. You'd be working for a minute, and then you would never work again.
Yeah, you better really budget that couple checks you're gonna get there.
Yeah. Although, I'm proud of you for stance, and also it's a conundrum in this town right now because a lot of people feel like their voices are intentionally having to be held for their beliefs because of what it would mean to them to be in support of Palestine over Israel.
Yeah, it's hard in this town. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard in this town to look negatively against the Israeli government because that is what it is. That's what it is. It's the Israeli government that people are trying to, because that's who's doing it.
That was my argument last time.
But there's a lot of blanketing.
The Israeli argument.
But there's a lot of blanketing where, like, especially, Zionist Jews here in this country who are like, it's everyone wants to murder us. And I just don't think that's the fucking case. So, but anyway, I digress. So yeah, it's tough out here. But, I haven't got. I don't think Disney does a lot of commercials. I don't know. I don't know how many commercials Disney's up to. But anyway, it's interesting because you don't realize there are people out here like there was that list. There was like that list of like actors who were like supporting the Israeli government, and there were a lot of black and brown faces on that list, and like TikTok is ablaze because they're like, how could you? And it's like, look, like their niche in this industry as it is, in a racist industry. Let's not forget it. And if it's a female woman of color that's on that list, like a misogynistic, racist, industry, that's what Hollywood is. So it's like you don't want the offers to start drying up. So I mean, I get it. It sucks. Luckily, I'm not famous enough for it to fucking matter. So like, I lose a couple of followers here on Instagram every time I say something, but I don't care. I'm at peace with my beliefs on this. Like I have no conviction.
You have a lot of conviction, and I love that about you. And I will say, even though we don't agree on everything, I am proud of your brave ability to take stands that will negatively affect your Instagram follower numbers. But in lighter news, Tony, how is Illinois?
Oh my God, that's right. I took a trip back to Illinois. Oh Lord. It's good. It's humbling. Here's the thing. I think like, first of all, shout out. Well, I don't know if she listens to this one. I thought that my sister listens to the Tony Soto show. I don't know if she said that she listens to this, but if she does, shout out to Sonia if you're listening, sis. But it's always, they think I'm successful. You know what I mean? They think that I am a success, which means that there was nary a pat for a wallet from any of them. You know what I mean? Not a single. And look, I'm not saying that Clinton is an expensive town because it's not. But I'm also not saying that I'm successful. So it was kind of like every time I pulled out my wallet, I was like, I have to go back to a real city.
Were you buying dinners for people and all that stuff?
I bought dinner for the family, yes. And
Tony.
look, shout out to my cousin. He fucking drove the 2.5 hours to the fucking airport to pick me up and then drove me back. So I mean, like, my other cousin let me stay with her. So it's like, it was a real family affair. We did a Dia de los Muertos party. I put Richard Bain's name on the ofrenda, as well as Juan Chavez, because I just lost Juan Chavez this year too. So and and also found out some relatives died that nobody told me about. Like, I fucking found out by looking at the fucking ofrenda.
Wow.
I was
How
like,
does that make you feel?
I was like, you can't call somebody. And then my cousin was gaslighting me and shit. She's like, I know I told you. Oh, I'm pretty sure I told you. And I was like, I feel like I would remember if you told me that a fucking aunt died. You know what I mean? Like,
I love that your first emotion wasn't sadness. It was anger that no one would told you.
Well, I mean, we're not that close.
I don't mean to laugh at your family members too much.
No, R.I.P. R.I.P. But it's like, look, this is the thing. It's like when I was getting a ride back to Clinton with my cousin, we were talking about relatives, because that's what we do. And he was like, there were some certain stories about relatives that concerned me that he was making light of. And I was like, why are you fucking making jokes about this kind of shit? Like that's the fucking problem. And he's like, that's what we do. That's how we interact with each other. And as I was really upset at that moment. And then, like, as soon as he said something that I thought was real dumb, I read him to filth. And I was like, oh, you're right. We don't know how to love correctly.
Yeah. It turns out you didn't become like a bitch to be a drag queen. Like, you were raised to be
I think I was. I mean, I was always offensive. Listen, when your dad is always like ready to pick, that's another thing. And then we'll move on from this, because I don't want to, take it. But listen, for like 15 years, I've had a really great relationship with my tia, my father's sister, because they had not to spread all the tea, but they had a little bit of a falling out. So it was always nice to talk shit about dad with her.
With someone who cares.
Right. Well, girl, she cornered me on this trip because they're going to church together now. Like, they're fixing their relationships, which I love. I love that. I'm like, I support that. I want them to fix their relationship. They live in a small ass fucking town with not a lot of brown folks, so they got to stick together. But she cornered me at her house and was like, "Did you see your daddy? Oh, you should give him at least 5 minutes." And I was like, oh, no, this is not the switch that we're going to be having now.
Well, maybe you and your dad should just start going to church together, and that will really mend your relationship. Tony, I've been thinking you need to go to church more. Wait, I thought your dad didn't live in Clinton anymore. Did he?
He still lives in the very house that I grew up in with with my stepmother / his mister.
It was your grandfather lived in Mexico. Sorry, that.
Yeah. No. Dad jumped the fence so I could have white privilege. So thanks, Dad, for that. But also, he could have came to the party and he didn't. So anyway, that's enough about my family drama.
He could have come. He was busy. He was too busy with church.
Yeah. It's always on his terms. Blah blah blah. Wah.
Well, it is nice to have a tiny little bit of a quick insight into why Tony is the way he is, and then we move on. I
mean, no secret. Everyone knows. But listen, it was great to see, like, my sister seems happier. I'm always rooting for my brother. Like, it was great to see all the cousins. Like, yeah, loved it. It's also very, very nice to know that I can go from there, because
right.
If you lived there, you'd kill yourself. I would. Yeah. It would be a suicide situation. I'd be like, Richard, I'm coming. We're both on the ofrenda, Richard.
Well, let me just say, most people don't want that to happen, Tony, and I am definitely in that camp.
Yeah, there's a couple. Well, listen.
Well, wait. Let me, before you move on to. Oh, did you need to wrap Illinois up?
Not at all.
I just wanted to, before we move into what will undoubtedly be less fun topics, but we will make it fun-ish.
We always do. Even we
I want to give a shout out to love and to joy and to hope. from a weekend that I just had in Palm Springs at a gay wedding between two of my friends, a trans man and a gay man, one from Oklahoma, another from the Philippines, and brought together a lot of beautiful, wonderful people. And it was the best weekend I've had in a long time, and a reminder that there is still an ability to find good in this world. Hard, and helps when it's being paid for by people who are in movies and things like that. But still a really wonderful weekend. And so just shout out to Nico Santos and Zeke Smith for a beautiful wedding.
Yeah,
And fans of the show.
I was in Clinton and I was thumbing on the Instagram, and what do I see but People magazine popping up with Nico and Zeke on the cover of it, all married and whatnot. And by all the stories that I saw, there was a lot of famous and up and coming famous and famous folks there, because those are two very famous people.
And then me.
Yeah. I went, then you were there. I went and saw a movie with Nico and Zeke like a week or so ago. You were out of town.
What did you go and see?
Dick's
the musical. Did you? You didn't like? You didn't like?
I did not like it. No.
You're the only person I have met who has not gagad over
I know, because gay people, and we all have to like gay stuff. And honestly, I would love to like something that was made by a gay person if it wasn't all fucking just so fucking tongue in cheek, blah blah blah, like fucking like. Give me something of substance. But I get it. It came from the groundlings or whatever. It should have just stayed there, however.
Stay in the groundlings. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't have a...
Oh, well, you should see it.
And
then let me know what you think. And then we should go see Barbie, because we haven't seen that either. Well, listen. I know that the listeners are expecting us to get all buck wild about Palestine and the oppression and the apartheid and the terrorist actions done by Israel against those poor people. However, we are not going to start off with that, because we do indeed have local politics that we should also be covering, because this country is just as much on fire as any other.
And if you don't listen to the rest of the podcast or the rest of YouTube, I just want to say I have a slightly different take on the way that Tony framed that. So just if you shut it off now and say this podcast is not for me for a variety of reasons that we all know, I just want to say a full disclaimer that if you keep listening, while I don't disagree with some of the sentiment, I absolutely disagree with the way he frames certain of the issues. Carry on.
We'll pass around that. We'll assign segues next time.
I wish I had like an actual segue to sometimes just back up from the podcast every once in a while, out of frame, to let you rant problematically for a tad, and then back in when it's time for me to speak.
Well, why don't you speak on the fact that we could have another Trump presidency?
And now in our neck of the woods, yeah, we could. I mean, so you're talking about the bad poll numbers that came out for President Joe Biden.
Yeah, it's great for former president, twice impeached, disgraced.
The thing is, his numbers haven't gone up. Although with certain demographics problematic for us demographics, they have, including millennials, Gen Z, Black and Latino voters. President Trump's numbers have gone up, although the real issue is that Biden's have gone down for a variety of reasons. The main reason right now, this was done before this polling was being conducted before Joe Biden started being labeled Genocide Joe. So I have a feeling that's not gonna, these polls were taken before that. So it's gonna probably go down, because the problem is it's Democratic voters who are not voting, who are saying they're not going to vote for Joe. So, and if he continues to hemorrhage support, it's not going to be a good look. Although that being said, yesterday there were elections in various states, all of which were pretty darn positive for Democrats and those on the left. So I don't think it's a clear-cut picture. Also, it's a year out. But the question now becomes, which because everyone is talking it, is Joe Biden, can he even stay in this race?
I mean, the thing is like, you know, I was talking about on the other podcast that we don't like to mention, about like the liberal youth that are like going towards never Biden. And you know, I myself, I came out and I was like, look, I completely hear you. I get it. I'm not happy with Joe either, but I think that, you know, I think that what people are failing to realize is that we have to think here at home. And I know that that's hard for liberals to do, and progressives and Democrats to do, because, you know, America first is like bad words to us because that's like a Republican talking point. But when it comes to management of this country, it fares better when the president is blue. And what we learned on when was that? When was yes? What is today?
Wednesday.
Tuesday. With all the elections that went positively blue, that the country wants that. We don't want the government in our doctor's office. We want poor kids to be able to eat. Like we want, you know, like we don't want to suffer. We're seeing the suffering that's happening across the world, and we're shipping so much money off to that, and we can't afford to take care of our own. This is wild. So like, say what you want about the Biden's foreign policy. Poor people of color, like, do better under blue leadership.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm voting for Genocide Joe in 2024.
That is called an endorsement, my friends. Yeah, and also, I mean, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't support, well, the moniker of Genocide Joe necessarily, because I do think that will be not helpful. But I also think that, you know, Trump is annihilation Trump, you know, and so I mean, like I know it sucks when we have to pick between the lesser of two evils, but one evil is bad, the other evil is the end. And that is concerning to me. Although, I mean, that just, you know, Tuesday was really good. In Ohio, a state that has been increasingly red and very hard place for
that's Jim Jordan territory.
Well, yeah, it overwhelmingly, and not just a slice of the vote, high 50%, it looks like, voted to enshrine abortion rights into the Constitution, which is huge, and that needs to be on every fucking state ballot in 2024, because that is getting people to the polls and voting on our side. And also, not to mention, I mean, Mississippi elected a gay African-American state representative. Virginia, the Democrats took over the House and maintained the Senate, which was not clear they were going to do, and elected their first transgender state senator. So, and in Kentucky, the Democratic governor was reelected, and that Kentucky, Virginia, and Ohio are not, you know, deep blue places by any means. And in fact, except for Virginia, the other places are extremely red places. And so that shows that, like, don't despair if you're worried about a Trump presidency seeing those Biden numbers. I mean, the question that we're asking, and you support Genocide Joe, not my moniker, but we're using it because it really is fun. It rolls off the tongue. I hate to say it. Yeah. Is that like, you know, a lot of people are saying he needs to get out, and the issue is he's not going to get any younger in a year, and also he's not getting much sleep these days, you know, and so it's not a great look. I mean, there's no magic pill for him to take, although maybe he should try Adderall to pep him up enough to be a young, you know, hip.
We like the heartbeat going slow and steady as it is. We don't need to fucking jolt it up. You know, it's bad enough he gets a fright every time he trips.
I was reading that people in Hollywood are injecting stem cells, and that's keeping them 10 years younger. Maybe he should start injecting. Where are they injecting cells? Where? Tony, don't make this about your face right now.
But wait, where are they injecting them?
Tony, don't make the future of the country about your face right now.
Like in the spine or something? Because I will fucking put it in. I'll ask my lady who does.
Talk about a genocide. Tony wants all the babies to be killed so he can inject them into his motherfucking face.
You know that episode of fucking South Park where it's Barbara Streisand, I think, like sucking the fucking embryos, stem cells right out of their fucking bodies. I was like, I can relate to that. When I see young people, I'm always like, that skin's wearable, you know?
Are you gonna buy Babs's memoir? It's 1,000 pages. You do love a good long read.
I don't have any. I'm not one of those gay people.
But and you don't like people who are pro.
First of all, how dare you? Starting any you're literally the worst. She's not a Zionist. Is she a Zionist?
I don't.
Come on, Babs. Tell us you're not a Zionist. She's a hardcore
Babs. Democrat. I have a feeling, as a rich Jewish woman in America, a hardcore Democratic supporter, she's probably on the side of Israel. But I don't know. I don't want to put words into Babs.
But know, truthfully, I look at it like, when it comes to Joe Biden and whatnot, I'm like he's losing a lot of the Arab vote here in this country, and I get that, and you know what, and I understand. Yeah. So what I don't need is some fucking liberal Democrat progressive who's like white skinned from fucking Rhode Island, being like,
why did you say Rhode Island? Why did you look at me and say Rhode Island and say someone with white skin from Rhode Island? Why did that pop into your mouth?
I did, because you're not saying this, but the ones that are like, oh, Joe Biden, he makes me so mad. Like I can never stand up for a genocide. And it was like, yeah, but we were all asleep at the wheel when genocides were happening, when Obama and Bill Clinton and fucking everyone else, like we discussed this, Jimmy Carter was like the most outspoken one for violence because he was a fucking, what was he, like a Quaker or something? He's not dead.
He's an evangelical Christian.
He's not dead. I'm talking about him like he's passed, and that's not it. He is still going.
Which is unbelievable.
Let him go. Give him his second term. You know what I mean? Like, let's give Carter his second term. Maybe, why not? That's why funny. Not? It's the wife with the dementia. Carter's still got his brain.
Hey, if Trump can run from prison, why can't Carter run from hospice?
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like all of this hubbub that is happening and going on and shit. It's like we are like, do not lose focus that Trump is in court every fucking day of the week. You know what I mean? Like Trump is testifying, getting in belligerent fights and yelling at the fucking judge because the judge is like, hey, maybe don't rant, hey, maybe have a concise thought. And we're all and all the conservatives they're not letting him speak. It's like, because we heard him speak for 4 years. We know it's word salad. We know there's no line of logical thought because he's got so much syphilis that his brain is burning.
It is amazing. Their defense is to just
allegedly
keep their defense is to just keep talking until the election. Keep him on the stand. Don't say a thing for the next next fucking 12 years, or 12 months, Jesus fucking Christ. And then he can pardon himself because he's clearly guilty of all of these fucking crimes that he committed.
But this is perfect for fucking conservatives. Like, honestly, because the thing is like there is no other group of people that are ready to eat each other quicker than Democrat, liberal, fucking leftist, fucking progressives. Like hands down, we are ready to eat ourselves. Like we are cannibals, and we like the taste of our fucking own flesh.
Well, and that is the problem with, in my opinion, having a primary right now for other Democrats to run for the presidency, because we will not agree on someone, because if we let's just be brass tacks about this. Like, if we elect
not brass tacks.
Well, if we have someone who agrees with everything as Joe is doing, the left will be pissed at that person. If we elect someone who is way to the left, which will make the base happy, that will scare off the moderate voters, and we will have yet another issue of will we or can we win. And I think the one benefit that we have with Joe is that he fucking beat Trump before, and people know who he is. And I think that is like the one thing that I can tout, except from a lot of accomplishments that no one cares about or wants to talk about. But because again, no one's talking about the Inflation Reduction Act. No one's talking about Build Back Better, all these things that are long-term going to benefit the country and the world greatly. And all of the fucking support for fucking unions, all the unions that are making gains fucking week in, week out. The SEIU in Vegas is coming to terms with all of the casinos on
all
the
the
strip.
casino workers.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean
good.
they're gonna, and without even going on strike, because
That's like,
business,
I was gonna say,
businesses
they didn't actually strike, right?
no, they didn't strike, but it was a threat. Business is actually on their toes because workers are gaining rights. And then when you have a president who is going to picket lines and supporting workers, that you have, having someone on your side in the White House is a big fucking part of that. Yes, he is making a mistake by blindly supporting Israel. Yes. And that will not, I guarantee that's not going to last. Unfortunately, it's gotten to the point where 10,000.
Not
No, it can't last. It can't last. It can't last. It can't last because one, like, supporting them blindly allows them to, I won't go as far as to say what's happening right now is a genocide, but it's getting close. Okay. And if if the end game is to kick all the Palestinians out of Gaza and the West Bank and all the Israeli boundaries, that is ethnic cleansing, for sure.
Literally what's happening.
I mean, it is the
eradication of 4,000 children. 4,000, you think those are the shields? Those are the shields. Those are the shields that Hamas is fucking putting up. Really? I mean, no. Show me the dead bodies of all of the Hamas leaders. I would like, because I agree that I do believe Hamas uses human shields. I do absolutely believe that. But I want to see proof. What does that fucking mean? Like, I don't understand what that means. Like they're holding up kids as people are shooting.
No, but they hide. But they're known.
If you are here's the thing. If you are the most technologically advanced fucking military in the world, if it was truly about just taking out Hamas, then you would fucking go in special forces, and that's how it would be done. But no, you have bombed more people in how many weeks of this war than we bombed in a year in Afghanistan. That's wild. In a strip of land,
it's insane.
No, that is not big. That has 2 million people on it. So really, it's like so you're just like, all of them are fucking Hamas. That is what that says. When they're dropping bombs on fucking schools and hospitals, because the fucking words that I trust the least now are, Israel says, according to Israel, Israel states, Israel's information. Because here's the thing. Here's what they are: liars. Because what is playing out on fucking real life is not what they're saying. Well, actually, that's not true. Literally, their fucking government officials are like, yeah, we want to wipe out these Palestinians.
Yeah, we said this the first time we talked about this is the government in Israel, the ruling coalition, is full of flat out racists who have spouted genocidal language when they're talking about Palestinians, and as a result, it is much easier to believe that genocide is happening there when, like, the finance minister and the defense minister have said genocidal racist fucking bullshit for years, and the prime minister. Let's be real, the prime minister, they are bad, and what is happening is a result of their awful, terrible policies, years of them. But, we talked about this last, a couple of weeks ago. Not here, but I sent you that text where I was like, I will say this, any country is going to defend itself. I don't agree with the scope of those things sometimes, but Israel was attacked, justified or not in your minds. Israel was attacked, and so there was going to be a response, and Hamas knew that as well. Okay, and I'm sure Hamas did a pretty good job, which they have done in the past, of hiding their weapons and their people in places that, if those places are attacked, it will kill a lot of innocent civilians. That's just what has happened. And I'm not saying Israel said that or what, there's no doubt in my mind. That's what tons of groups do, when they're in a fight like this. Not to say this is a good idea, because it still would have involved a lot of dead people, but Israel proved through those airstrikes in the beginning that they could fucking demolish this fucking place, and they could do it, and they're willing to do it. So they should have stopped and negotiated at that point. And now, because then people would have then a lot of the world would have been like, they're showing restraint. What is now is an unrestrained assault on with mass casualties against an entire population for what was done by their ruling coalition. And that's gonna be it's gonna continue to be a fucking war crime, and we're supporting that. And this is why, as much as I have called for restraint in the belligerency with which we talk about what Israel is doing, because it's no longer possible. And I don't understand why Israeli officials, I understand not believing you can coexist with Hamas anymore, but also like you need to coexist with Palestinians, and that is becoming a increasingly
Yeah. And
impossible thing.
it's really kind of disheartening when you're seeing on one scope, like, a bunch of fucking crying children crying out because their entire family was wiped out by bombs. And then you see like other videos on social media of Zionists celebrating the bombs that are falling on Gaza. So, it's like it's all evil, it's all racism, and free Palestine. But we have come to the end of our very well-discussed podcast. Well discussed.
We got the yelling done beforehand. And I really appreciate that.
We might release it. Should we release it? Should we release it as an extra?
The opener to this show is going to be a 25-minute fight between Casey.
We did good. Casey, why don't you tell people what you're up to?
Sure. If you're watching YouTube, you can see me tonight at the Fable in Highland Park at 8 p.m. Next week on Friday in LA, Friday night, the 17th, I'll be at the Glendale Room. And there are some other shows, but just follow me on Instagram, KCLEY. It's pronounced lie. And that's no lie, friends. And that's it for now. Tony, what about you?
All things drag, Tony Soto Productions on Instagram, and just follow me, the Tony Soto Show on Instagram and TikTok. We're currently in Casey Lie's birthday season, so he's gonna have a birthday show coming up soon. I don't know what that means, but I'll be a lot nicer and I won't interrupt.
Yeah.
When is your birthday?
My birthday when is my birthday, Tony?
The 16th.
So actually next Thursday, the next show will come out on my birthday.
Oh, look at that. So next week is Casey's birthday show, which means he'll have the floor. We'll see. All right. Bye, guys.